Welcome back, guys. This is the GSL in Seoul, Korea. I'm Tasteless, and with me is Artosis. We just saw Squirtle get captured.
Well, there's actually, at least in Pokemon games I played, no way to capture Squirtle. You can only be traded one or have it given to you by Professor Oak. So
I don't know this stuff. I'm sorry.
I'm just calling you out, Tasteless, on when you're wrong.
It's all right to be wrong, as long as you admit it. I am a Pokemon noob. I'm sorry.
Pokemon.
Sorry.
I don't want to have to strangle you on TV, Tasteless.
I'm sorry. Coming up here, we have OGS Cezanne against Loner.
Yeah, the killer of Liquid Ret against Loner. I can't lie. I'd rather be watching Liquid Ret against Loner right now. That would be pretty sick. But this is what it is. Cezanne is actually a very good player.
Yeah,
Loner, an amazing player. It's time to take
a look at him now.
At our players.
There he is.
OGS Cezanne. He got to Season 1's round of 64 and Season 2's round of 64. So this poor guy has had a hard time getting further than that.
Yeah, he barely made it to Kodai, basically.
Yeah, barely made it. He was... Yeah, that's about it.
That's all we got to say of that, and he beat Brad.
Yeah, and, well, he is the captain of OGS. It's a fun little thing right there.
Yeah.
He's the captain of the team. So
OGS is a great team, by the way.
Yeah.
Just super.
Super duper.
It's just super awesome.
It is that.
Yeah, I think this is not going to be an easy match for Loner, but I would still say Loner is the favorite.
I think he could be, Taste. As long as he's not sick. He doesn't look sick like he was before.
My God.
Last time I thought he might be dead.
I mean, he was so sick last time. It was actually, I was a little worried about it. So in Season 2, he made it to the round of 16.
Yeah. Loner, just like the GSL, sponsored by Pepsi.
Yeah.
Delicious and refreshing.
There you go.
Rub
Pepsi
it
right
in your
on.
cuts.
Pepsi, all their drinks are just so good.
Yeah.
They're good for you.
Pepsi actually owns Doritos and Taco Bell. Taco Bell, my favorite restaurant for fast food, aside from Kimbap Changu, if you consider that fast food.
Taco Bell's your favorite? Oh, for fast food. Okay.
Yeah, for fast
food.
No, I'm not.
It's like, well, that's my favorite place to get diarrhea, Artosis. Okay, that's great. Pepsi, seriously, you're a great sponsor, though.
Yeah.
And we appreciate the free drinks here. Now, as you can see, we have our two players here. The maps are going to be...
Scrap Station, Zelnaga Caverns, and Shakura's Plateau. Wow. It's like we finish each other's sentences at the exact same time.
Okay, so Scrap Station's the first map. On a ZVT, that's going to let the Zerg get an easy expansion. It is a one-on-one map. So Loner does have the option if he thinks Cezanne's going to go for hatchery first, doing some kind of aggressive strategy. But let's note the map's the eliminated Steps of War. No shocker for a Zerg against a Terran to eliminate that map. And Blistering Sands. Too many risky things can happen on that map. No point in Terran wanting to deal with that.
Quite true indeed. Well,
countdown's begun. Get ready. In the red, our Zerg player, he eliminated Red, a foreigner in the GSL. Could he eliminate another one now?
OGS Cezanne.
In the blue, from China, eliminating Tasteless in the Stars War tournament, even though Tasteless didn't use the Tasteless build.
Loner.
That's where you went wrong.
That's where I went wrong.
Actually, you used Protoss in that tournament.
Yeah, I did. Loner's a very talented player. I know that when we were both in China, he was practicing and preparing more than anybody.
Yeah. He's a guy that...
More than Yumi and Idric combined when he was down there with the event.
Yeah.
You and me were all like, I can't believe I'm in Shanghai. It's so cool.
Yeah.
He was like, I will just crush them.
And Idra's all like, be serious, guys. Who cares if we're in Shanghai?
So, cheers to all of our Chinese viewers. Thank you so much for joining us.
That's
Please
right.
spread the word about the GSL in China.
Ni hao ma.
Ni hao ma.
That's the No.
I like to tell all our Chinese viewers, Xixia, for joining us. Yeah.
Xixia.
And that's the extent of my my Chinese.
Yeah.
My
That's
Mandarin.
pretty much all I know as well.
Now take a look here. Barracks on the low ground.
Interesting. Now, this could be used as a wall-in to expand with, or as an aggressive forward barracks. Now, the thing is, 2 barracks play not as good on this map unless you proxy them, because it is such a long walk, Tasteless.
You know what's funny about this map? It's a long walk at the start, early game, but when you get to mid-game and late game, you can tear down the rocks to block off the bridge in the upper middle of the part of the map, and suddenly it can become a big slugfest.
And that's going to be a very common tactic for our Terran players.
Oh, yeah.
We've seen Loner do that before on this map. And it makes such a narrow passageway that it's very hard for Zerg to actually attack into it if Terran does, the right unit composition, moves slowly through there as well.
As you can see, the drone spots the barracks. I think Zerg may be a little apprehensive, may get more Zerglings sooner. By the way, we are going to have questions, as always, after this, even for Loner. Now, as much of a baller as John the Translator is, he does not speak Mandarin, but we do have a translator here.
That's right, and he's well enough to actually have an interview today.
Yeah, he's well enough to have an interview. So we will have an interview with Loner if you guys want, so don't be hesitant to post some questions for Loner if you feel the need.
That's right. Now, this is a very important match because the winner of this gets a try for Code S in the up and down matches. So Loner's going to be wanting to win this. He's actually been living in Korea since the last GSL with the Prime team. He's really been training hard for this. Yeah. Loner is the stuff that champions are made out of, Tasteless. This guy was not the best back in the beginning of the beta. He was a good player, but not the best. He has worked unbelievably hard.
Yeah.
And he used to be a cheesing player. He was actually a Warcraft 3 player, not a famous one, from China, and all he did was cheese in the beginning of the beta. Excuse me. And now he's one of the best macro Terrans in the world, so really has come a long way, and he is not going to go down easy.
One thing about Loner, it kind of reminds me of Guillaume Patry. I mean, being this Chinese guy comes out here early on in the scene, and it's a big deal to have him out here. Came out all the way out here.
Definitely.
Managed to get recruited on Team Prime. Great team.
Well, it's a partnership between we and Prime.
Yeah.
World Elite. That's his Chinese team. Really great esports team.
Now note, Cezanne is taking on these rocks back here. This is, Marines can't quite reach there, so the Terran has to engage.
Yep. And he has enough Marines at this point that he can definitely do that. Now, Cezanne going to lose some extra Zerglings. Doesn't move quite quick enough. And Loner showing us how the Marines can shoot very fastly while walking.
Larva inject here. Zerg playing pretty standard. More barracks here. So we're going to see some heavy infantry style. I'm wondering if we're going to see that many tanks. If we're going to see any tanks at all. Normally tanks are great against Banelings, but he never even got the add-on. Nope, maybe I spoke too soon. I see an add-on coming now.
I love tanks on this map, though, Tasteless. Moving through the center of the map, using some Banelings to spot as your Marines go through, I think it's an absolutely great move. And I would be quite thrilled if he does do them.
This is interesting. Got a third hatch here before expansion. So there's going to be probably units out of that for a little while.
Well.
Uh-oh. If Cezanne loses this Overlord, it would be another small blow to him. Nope.
Would indeed.
You know, one thing about Scrap Station is that, frankly, I think everything underneath the surface that they're on looks probably a lot more interesting, if you notice that.
And we do see a Roach Warren going up, as well as a Baneling Nest. And also, we do have a third hatchery going up for Cezanne. So he's going to get a lot of units. And it looks like it's going to be Roach Baneling, which we do see from time to time, especially in the Korean scene. A lot of players do like that.
I don't know if Cezanne should be doing this. I mean, he's not...
Yeah, he's got to be careful not to lose too many Zerglings here. But I want to just point out that he is going for Roach Baneling. And the thing is, it's a doable strategy so far from what we've seen. I don't know if it's going to stay around forever as a top-tier Zerg vs. Terran strategy, but Scrap Station is perfect for Mutalisk harassment. It's like the map was made for it. So, you know, you have to be careful in that regard. He's going to be able to put zero pressure on Loner. And if you're putting no pressure on one of the best macro Terrans in the world, that may spell trouble, Tasteless.
Yeah, no kidding. Now, you know, one thing about this map I love so much, I'm so glad Blizzard put this in here, is it's so unique. It's not quite like any other map, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely a very different map, and one of the better maps that we have. We have a lot of interesting games here as well. So we see Loner just rallying around, not going through the rocks, and you may be thinking, why isn't he going through those rocks? Well, there's a few reasons that it could be. He may be just setting up to take a third. The other reason could be he doesn't want to be able to be counterattacked. Zerg units can be very fast, especially on creep, and if he goes through the rocks, then that leaves the other end open for counterattacks, unless he makes some sort of wall there like we've seen players like Jinro do. So those are some possibilities as to why he's playing that way.
Zerg is going to go for the wall over here.
Yeah.
Terran pushing out.
Very strong timing push here.
Baneling's sniping the Banelings. No, the Banelings can slip through the smoke here.
Oh no, it looks like Loner may have moved too far forward.
Oh, nice target fire in there.
That's right. The Roach is doing some good damage here, but it looks like Loner does push him back.
Brilliant. He just used those siege tanks, probably has them hotkeyed. Just shot the Banelings.
Combat shield almost done. That's going to be very important to finish up.
Baneling speed on the way.
A lot of Zerglings being made right now for Cezanne.
I know Loner doesn't have any medevacs in there, so it's not like he can keep stimming and attacking.
He's got to be very careful with every single stim, and that's why he's backing up right now. Now, combat shields has finished, so his Marines are back up to a little bit more health. It's a lot of Banelings, Tasteless.
Many Banelings. He's going to go in again. He's got to be careful. The smoke area.
Oh my, this is actually very dangerous, Tasteless. Baneling speed's about to finish. This is not a lot of units for Loner. I'm surprised he's actually pushing forward with this amount of units.
Loner's pretty good at target firing with those siege tanks. Putting the Marauders out way in the front over here.
That's the way to do it. Marauders take a lot of Baneling hits to kill. Takes like 7 Banelings or something like that.
It's something insane.
It's too many to even count. And here we go. Cezanne rolling in with those speed Banes. And it looks like they are going to do their job well. Loner losing all of his units. That was quite a mistake by Loner to be attacking that, but he's going to keep going, Tasteless. Take some additional damage here, and yes,
way
indeed.
Too many Roaches.
It looks like the Roaches will win the day. And it looks like Roaches, Tasteless, turned out to be a pretty good idea. They've tanked a lot of damage this game. They killed a lot of leftover units. And now Cezanne looks like he may counterattack. Don't know if this is the absolute best choice, though. He may want to play it a little bit slower, but no. Loner getting a little bit surrounded here. Siege tank in the back, but Loner is in a little choke now, and Cezanne at this point is going to want a third base. Because even though he's ahead, he is, well, supply-wise he's behind because Loner's macro is actually phenomenal. Loner at 98 supply against 79 for Cezanne, but Cezanne is sitting on just 2 base, Tasteless, and you have to go up bases against Terran.
Tech Lab on the way. He's going to get a little bit more Marauder heavy. I don't think Loner should have had that second attack.
No, I agree. First attack was good, but second attack was a little bit over the top. It's okay, though. He can transition into a third base, which is actually what Loner's getting ready to do. And also getting...
drop.
Yeah, it looks like it. One of those is empty, and the other full one is actually sitting at home. So Loner is actually bringing one of the wrong medevacs with him.
Oh, no.
Big
no,
blunder.
he's faking it.
Oh, okay.
He's going to make it look like there's 2. That'll force Zerg to relocate more.
That's right, and there are a bunch of Roaches. By the way, if you don't have mutas, which he is making now finally, drops can be very, very effective. So,
and you never want to let the Terran be the boss.
No.
In this matchup. And they
I tell you, that's quite true, Tasteless. You got to ask yourself as a Zerg player, who's the boss? And if the answer is Tony, you have got to get mutas. Now, while those units move down to deal with this, Loner going to drop off some Marines up here, see if he can do some damage. No, he can't. Muta's on the way, and now Loner may end up losing some medevacs. Smartly splits up the Marines and which medevacs they're in. and he will get them home. But these mutants may be able to finish some stuff off.
They're just earning enough Marines here.
No, they're not.
Loner really not playing up to his full potential in this game.
But again, this is the captain of OGS, so this is a guy definitely that is Code S material.
Oh, certainly so. Loner doesn't seem to be reacting very much. Tons of Banelings. I don't know if it's going to be possible this rate for Turn to get a third. And now Loner's just decided, you know what? To hell with it, I'm just going to go and try to attack. Force the Mutalists to return home that way. Meanwhile, he's lost to Barracks. Could lose the second one pretty soon here.
That's right. Those Barracks just buying him time at this point. And Loner decides not to attack, but instead to just remake his Barracks down at the third base. Not as bad a decision as it almost looks like, because the main base is just so attackable all game by Mutalisks. I can't believe, though, Tasteless, that he hasn't tried to save a little bit more.
You know, I don't know if I agree with this. I think Loner's almost giving up. Now you can see suddenly Marines are coming back around this time. Now with the Marines up there, this is going to allow Zerg to move out here and hit this expansion over here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs.
Oh, no. Oh, he's not going to attack.
Cezanne is taking a third. It's going to be the gold, but it's a very, very late third Tasteless, even though he's done some damage to Loner.
It's incredibly late.
Yeah.
And the SCV scouted it.
And in fact, it looks like Cezanne just wants to get through the middle here and circumvent all of the units of Loner, which are down at his third base. Loner has nothing scouting that. He has... Oh, he does barely see it.
I don't think he even knows, though.
Does he?
Well, he's not reacting to me. If you look on our screen, he's...
That's quite true.
Oh, my God.
That is a lot of units, Tasteless. Loner way out of position right now. And Cezanne, Cezanne even splitting up some Zerglings, sending them to the natural of Loner to deal some damage to his SCVs. But this is a very important attack for Cezanne because he just does not have a huge economy right now.
Here come the Banelings.
Oh my God, so many Banelings. Absolutely crushing through Loner's army.
Oh my God.
And Loner's going to have to GG Taste this.
That's GG.
Loner definitely played a little bit sloppy in the later parts of this game. And now Cezanne is worlds ahead.
That is it. You cannot recover from that.
No, he's going to lose so many production buildings.
That's it, GG. Man, wow.
I'm a little bit surprised because it felt like Loner just kind of fell apart at the end there. He was playing very well.
When he lost that initial attack, one thing about Loner is that we say he's a good macro Terran, but most good macro Terrans also attack at perfect moments. Loner does not.
Yeah, sometimes he does.
Sometimes Loner engages at a strange moment, loses his army. We saw that at BlizzCon.
Yeah.
But then he manages to just remake the army so fast. The other guy's caught off guard.
That's very true. And being caught off guard, that is something to point out. Attacking at kind of weirder times that you don't see as often can be addicting because you'll get a lot of wins just when your opponent's like, oh, whoa, normally I make my units at this time. But Cezanne, a very smart player, always had units ready for Loner. And thus just fended off those first few attacks. Stayed on 2 base for quite a while. And then really punished Loner because Loner had no idea he was coming through. You got to keep something over there to watch those rocks just in case, especially when your entire army is down at your third base. So Loner fell apart a little bit at the end. I really felt like he could have won that game.
I think he could have. The first attack was fine. No need to attack the second time. You've just killed his army. You can siege up, get a planetary at your third base.
He did that. Just didn't watch for those rocks, Tasteless.
Yeah.
He actually had more supply than Cezanne when those rocks were being attacked. So really messed up. He came up with half his army.
One thing about Terran is that the army has to be ready and in a good position, or
that's
even if it's strong, it could die to a certain flank. The game's starting. Let's see if Loner can come back.